Now on Friday Football Fever.
Tonight on Friday Night Football Fever, it's title time. Northwood and Warsaw fight for the crown in the Northern Lakes Conference. And a battle for Princess City pride. Rivals Marion and Mishawaka square off in a top three showdown. It's all now on Friday Night Football Fever.
You're watching Friday Night Football Fever, presented by First State Bank and North End Cycle. The hits start now.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Friday Night Football Fever. Pete Byrne alongside Dean Huppert. And boy, Dean, it goes fast. Here we are already the second to last week of the regular season in Indiana.
Yeah, so much at stake around Northern Indiana tonight. You know, the Northern Lakes Conference, huge title implications down in Appanee. One of the biggest games in decades for Michigan City and LaPorte. And how about the game you were at in the Princess City? Boy, pride on the line for sure.
We were there early tonight at 6 o'clock. Marion won the NIC South last week. Mishawaka will have their chance against Penn next week. Tonight, nothing on the line but bragging rights between two coaches that respect each other. We heard from Bart Curtis and Reggie Glan at 6. These two teams love playing against each other, and Marion's defense makes the first big play. Check this out. Mishawaka inside the 5, but they fumble, and keep your eyes on number 6 in white. That is Marion's Brock Van Nebel.
Wow.
He scoops up the ball, and he is going to take it 95 yards all the way for the touchdown. That's a 14-point swing, and the Knights have a 7-0 lead. But after that, Mishawaka's offense was nearly perfect. Austin Faulkner drives over the goal line for his second touchdown of the night, and the Cavemen are up 14-7, a lead they would take into the half. And Faulkner would start to wear down the Marion defense. Third quarter now, he's going to break a tackle and take off for his third touchdown of the night. He carried the ball 43 times. He earned his paycheck.
You kidding me?
Cavemen up 20-7. Marion's offense finally gets it going here in the third. Nice drive capped off when Bryce Tomasi finds R.J. Decker in the end zone. We got a game again. That made it 20-14, but the Knights unable to get it any closer. Mishawaka wins the battle 26-14, setting up a showdown next week against their other rival, Penn. And speaking of the Kingsmen, Penn out in Elkhart visiting Central and looking to stay undefeated, and they strike first. Landon Matz is going to cap off the drive of the touchdown. Penn goes up 7-0. But on the next series, Penn driving again when this pass is going to be intercepted in the end zone by Ty Corey Edwards. A big play for the Central defense to turn them away, and then watch this answer by the Blazers. Ross Kirkman jumps it off to J.T. Webb, breaks a tackle, turns a corner, outruns another guy, stays on his feet, and is going to pick up more than 50 yards on this play, but the Blazers drive would ultimately stall, and Penn gets back to the business at hand. Motts with his second touchdown of the night. Penn wins big tonight, 48-17.
How about at Bremen, the 42nd meeting between the Lions and Jimmies? Since 1957, Bremen had won 12 against the Jims, but the boys at Bago had won the last 4, 19 of the last 21. How about this Jimtown team? Ranked number 9 in 3A. Sam Pollock, first quarter. Dakota Pratt, 85 yards. Reminds me of Marcus Carpenter. All he needed to do was do a little salute there. These kids love their Jimmies.
Is that the
Bremen.
Icky Shuffle?
Yeah, I think it might have been. How about Matt Box? Big night. Goes to Grant Clockhow, and he scores. Cloco scores for Bremen, but third quarter, it's a heavy dose of Kenny Kern. One touchdown, and then another touchdown. It was 27-20. Jimtown had the lead, but Matt Box, he's not going to be silenced. Box throws 2 TDs in the final 4 minutes and 32 seconds. Bremen wins 34-27. Huge win for the Lions. Let's fire up the grill. New Prairie. They had beaten Glenn 64-7 a year ago. The Cougs had won the past 4 meetings. Russ Radke, though, boy, he's pretty good after a loss. Hasn't lost 2 in a row since he's been at New Prairie. The Cougs with the football, they give it to Garrett Ruiz. Gets caught from behind a pile, but cuts it back the other way and goes to the end zone. They extend their lead. Glenn would try to answer. Glenn Borsch looks the quick pass for Jacob Westaver. That's a touchdown, but it was too little too late as New Prairie wins 50-33. Johnny 7 straight falls to 1-7.
Let's head to School Field now, where South Bend City rivals Adam and Washington met tonight. And Adam strikes first. Andrew Burgess finds a little time and hits Eric Williams over the middle. And look at Williams go as he outruns 4 defenders to the end zone. Antoine Jones' squad going up 6-0. The Eagles defense is going to get into the act now in this next play after a little congrats from coach. Ball tipped at the line, and it's going to be picked off by Jameer Anderson, and that would set up the Adams offense with a short field, and so they turn it over to Burgess again, and this time he's just going to do it himself. He's got the edge, and he takes it in for the touchdown. Adams gets the win tonight over Washington. Final score 33-13. And on the north side of town, 0-7 Riley versus 0-7 Clay. Someone's going to go home with their first win of the season tonight, and it will feel good. Onside kick to start the second half. Play Stephon Jenkins on the keeper, hits the hole hard, makes a nice cut to the sideline, and he's finally going to be taken out of bounds inside the 5, but Clay is in business. And a few plays later, Jenkins is going to do it again. Straight up the gut for the touchdown. Clay is on the board, but Riley leads this game 14-6. And then the Wildcats would extend the lead here. Ricky Davila lofts one deep down the field. Avery McCullough's got it. Great grab, and he's off to the races. Congratulations to Riley. They pick up their first win of the season, 47-20.
All right, let's take a look at St. Joe. 1-6 had their work cut out against 5-2 Culver Academy. The Eagles won their second sectional in school history last year. Look at Ashton Ruskowski to Isaac Romans, stripped by Brian Loudermilk, but the ref ruled he's down. St. Joe keeps the ball. Later, it's Ruskowski to Romans again, and this time he's going to find the end zone. St. Joe was up 8-0. And how about this, Indian fans? A good time to get a victory tonight. They win at 22-6. That's a good CMA team. They've been playing well lately.
That is a good win for St. Joe. Starting to peak maybe at the right time after a tough start to the year.
They've done it before.
That's going to wrap up. Yeah, we've seen that. That's going to wrap up the NIC tonight. That sets up, of course, the first place showdown next week in the north half between Penn and Mishawaka. You know, we're going to enjoy that. But speaking of conference championships coming up, we told you we've got some marquee matchups with conference title implications tonight. We'll check out the fight for first in both the Northern Lakes and the Duneland when Friday Night Football Fever returns.
Friday Football Fever, brought to you by First State Bank and North End Cycle.
Welcome back to Friday Night Football Fever. We head now to the Northern Lakes Conference, Dean, where it's pretty simple what's at stake tonight.
Yeah, Nate Andrews Panthers looking to get a share of the NLC title for the first time since 2004. But Warsaw was only a game back, and they hadn't won conference since 2001. So if Northwood wins, they win it outright for the first time since 1996. Big-time atmosphere down there in Napanee, Indiana. Haven't seen the energy like this in a long, long time.
Been a great season for them.
Yeah, you know, Northwood, they have 12 NLC titles, but they haven't won one since 2004. Look at this. The Panthers on the tower overlooking Belinsky, and he hits Drew Minnick in stride. Panthers up 28-10 in the second quarter. They go for 2. That's Bronson Yoder. These fans were pumped. They didn't want to share the NLC. Watch this play. Trey Belinsky dumps it off to junior Brayton Yoder. 4 chances to go down. My buddy Bo Hunt told me, you better make that highlight of the night. Man, that kid stayed up. He scores the touchdown. Nate Andrews still coaching his boys up. It wasn't even halftime, so you got to keep playing. Northwood tacks on another TD late in the half. Bronson Yoder scores again. Panthers outright NLC champ for the first time in 20 years. 64-23. Check that, 61-24. Wow, what a victory for them.
Congratulations to Northwood, and an amazing finish tonight between Plymouth and Goshen. Goshen up 7-0 late in the fourth quarter, but here comes Plymouth on the march. Cole Filson to Caleb Koss, and we got a first down. Move ahead now. Plymouth has it 3rd and goal at the 3, down by 7. Goshen's Charlie Collins steps up and drops the running back at the 1, so we've got 4th and goal at the 1, and here we go. Goshen's defense, can they make one last stand? Yes, they can. The running back is stuffed, and let the celebration begins. Goshen's defense stands tall, and the Red Hawks win a thriller 7-2 over Plymouth.
How about at Ames Field? The game was sold out for LaPorte in Michigan City. They were calling it the game of the century. Biggest game in Michigan City football history. Are you kidding me? How about this? The Slicers, Drayson Nespo cuts into the end zone for the touchdown. That was huge as LaPorte wins by 7, 42-35. How about David Sharp and company, 8-0? They are the Duneland champions. Unbelievable season for the LaPorte Slicers. That defense just doing the job tonight.
Congrats in order to LaPorte and to Northwood tonight. A couple of conference champions crowned tonight. Time to turn our attention north of the state line now and head to Michigan in Division III. Number 2 Edwardsburg was trying to go 7-0 at Plainwell tonight.
Yeah, and other big winners tonight. Division 4's Benton Harbor. They were 6-0 at 2-4 Charlotte, and the Harbor Tigers win tonight 43-0 over Charlotte. So now they are 7-0.
All right, and we also had a big game tonight in Niles. Niles hosting St. Joe. The Bears lead the all-time series dating back to 1950, 41-24, and the fans pretty hyped up for homecoming in this one. St. Joe 4-2, Niles 3-3. Both teams trying to bounce back from losses. And we got a defensive battle in the first half. Alex Harpenau's pass is intercepted by Arthur Herndon, and St. Joe takes over. But later in the second quarter, from the 3-yard line, Griffin Badette is going to keep it himself, and that's going to get him into the end zone for 6. St. Joe takes the lead, and they would spoil homecoming for Niles, winning it 33-0 as they put up some points later in the game.
All right, the Brandywine Bobcats, the cheerleaders, they were fired up tonight. They were taking on 0-5 River Valley. The Cats 2-4 late in the game. Bryce McLean keeps it himself on the rollout. He's going to get it all the way down to the 1-yard line. That's a huge pickup. He takes it 49 yards and just barely gets taken down. The Bobcats get their 3rd win of the season as they go on to win at the final of 38-0. So a big win for Brandywine.
All right, well, it's about that time. We've seen the game, and we've seen some great highlights. It is time for you to decide who wins the highlight of the night. Folks, we're going to show you your finalists and then let the voting begin. It's coming up next on Friday Night Football.